Alright guys, so now we're gonna go to the land of wrestling with AEW Fight Forever. They showed off gameplay footage with a match with Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole. I'm definitely gonna try to check this out and see what this is like. And it seems like we're going a little bit back into the Aki Engine type style era of wrestling games. And that has me very much excited because that's pretty much my childhood. But try not to waste any more time. Let's get straight to this. Arcades for everybody. Arcades for everybody that's in that room.
Okay, let's not delay any further. I think you know exactly why you came here. You guys want to see some gameplay. You guys want to see some one-on-one matchup. Well, we have just that. Please, if you can, put the footage on.
Frank.
Is that his name?
Is now.
All right, here we go. THQ Nordic. Now THQ. Just going to throwback with that image. Old memories. You want to try to go out the Saints Row too? I don't think so.
Anything goes in your main event tonight.
Oh, that's the cover for AEW's Fight Forever. Okay, Kenny Omega.
We've got Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole lined up for you today. In your matchup today, so you're going to see a full one-on-one matchup
fans, here we
between
go.
the two.
And I know people are going to say something about like the face models, about how they look, but I'm hoping that they just do the best that they can with that and just try to get the gameplay good and people enjoy the game, and then work with improving the face models down the line if they feel like, okay, let's just get what we can. So. And I do like this is straight to the point where it's like you're not super long.
So this game is still in development. This is all some
entrances.
footage. It is not the finalized footage. And right now, we also have some tutorialization. AEW coaches will be the ones who teach you things within AEW, within the AEW Fight Forever game. In this instance, obviously, William Regal, the BCC, the coach of the BCC, here to teach us the very basics of pro wrestling. And it is exactly how you think it would work. You have a strike attack, you have a strong strike attack, you have a grapple, and it is exactly the way you think it would be played. In fact, if you see right here, do ignore the finishers and signatures for the time being.
Okay.
Pin is your left bumper. Right and left bumper are your reversals for grapple, for strikes. Holding any of the buttons also is a strong strike or a strong grapple. A lot of the stuff that we are accustomed to playing, if you're in my generation at the very least, back in the Nintendo 64 era and stuff, that is exactly how this game plays.
I love that Aubrey Edwards, the referee, is moving out the way.
So it is very reminiscent of those times. In fact, I didn't even need to read the tutorial, and I was capable of playing this very, very quickly.
Because I do like that, she moves out the way if they're running towards her. She's moving out the way.
We have our momentum bars, and the way momentum works in this game is as you build up your arsenal, as you hit more moves.
Yeah, like I said, with the whole Aki engine, I know they're talking, but I'll kind of talk a little bit.
If the momentum is right, if you get enough momentum, you will have the option to then.
That at the bottom that they got the stamina meter that is referencing the classic Aki games like WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy, all that type of stuff. I do appreciate that they are going back to that.
Everything continues till we have the quality we want.
Of course. Now, whatever you may think of this footage right now, it's already improved, I think, from it is constantly being worked on by the team. Kenny obviously has a big part in what is done in the game. And
he's the creative mastermind behind everything.
I was going to say, you worked with him, and he's very hands-on.
What a title, the creative mastermind.
Yeah, definitely is.
No, you see the different taunts. You see the signature taunts
in the spirit he's there for sure. You can see this is a very typical Kenny Omega backbreaker. Just earlier we saw his taunts. There's actual audio on taunt. So Adam Cole says "Bay Bay" when he does his taunt. Kenny Omega says "Boom" when he points the gun. We've got our first pin here. One, obviously, Aubrey Edwards, our referee.
Gonna give defender
In the
kick
ring.
out buff.
Do not get
Kick
her
out
confused. That
buff
is not
for
ring
Cole.
knocked. German
Ooh,
suplex.
head damage.
I mean, it was really important to get this real
show,
AEW
like,
feeling
okay,
into
the
the
head
game
damage is
with
on,
all
that
the original
you will be taking some damage, that there may be a chance you will be holding your head if you take enough damage with that.
There you go. There's his back elbow from the corner. And so the movesets for the characters, from what I have seen,
Ooh, he slid
very
underneath the
spot
ring.
on. We're going to see more of Kenny's very soon. There's also springboard maneuvers, in case you were wondering. There it is.
Okay, now we got the signature.
Now, the signature maneuvers that I was talking about just earlier, there's actually a plethora of the great word, by the way, Colt Cabana. A plethora of signature maneuvers. You can do up to 5 different signature maneuvers, and they can be from any direction. Those are activated with your D-pad.
Okay,
you can
5
see right here
signatures.
are Kenny Omega's finishers and signatures. So, at this available moment, we have the signatures such as the Powerbomb V-Trigger, we've got the Running V-Trigger, a Snapdragon Suplex, and a different version of Snapdragon Suplex. And then when we finally get to the finisher, we'll finally be able to unlock the One-Wing Angel and various modifications to that
Okay,
move
so
and
pretty
the
much
V-Trigger.
just
This is
having
the first
just do your
of
signature
his
first to try to
signatures. This is
activate
the
the
Powerbomb
finisher
into
first.
a V-Trigger. There we are.
Time for the finish.
Now, obviously, pinning your opponent is with that left bumper, as I said earlier. Kenny Omega not
done
wanting
yet.
to end this match just yet.
And the cool thing about the controls is also they are easy to learn, but they are hard to master. And that's the cool
Alright,
thing. I think
Snapdragon
it's possible
suplex
for
right
everyone
there.
to start playing this game, enjoying this game, but
Now
to be
you got
really
the
good,
special.
you need to spend some time.
In fact, that's true. Now, we also have the momentum meter goes
Now
to
you can do the
special when you
finisher,
taunt
okay.
during a signature phase, and so that will turn you into special phase. The special phase is short. You've played Yuke's previous games, you understand that you only have a short
Alright,
counter to do these
One-Winged
moves.
Angel time.
As you've seen,
Bam!
Rush to do the One-Winged Angel right here on Adam Cole. But there's a short period, you can already tell, bottom left-hand side, it expired.
Yeah, the special meter is very,
And the
very
momentum
short
can be
once you
cut
start
short
doing it.
fairly quickly. Adam Cole takes over, and Kenny's signature bar is removed.
And actually, I
fairly
gotta count, like, if they showed it up again, I definitely gotta count the seconds of how long that special
Bring back
meter
this old school arcade
goes.
style,
That's
Ooh,
right.
Okay.
and I think we are on a pretty good way.
Okay, Kenny
Now,
Omega
if
now
you
has
see
head
also at the
damage.
bottom
This is in
and
the
left-hand
orange
side,
now.
Kenny's head took damage, so over time, Kenny's head will take damage, arms will take damage, legs will take damage, body will take damage, and you can pinpoint something to make it easier to submit.
Alright, so
in this
pretty much
example
mash
right
to try to
here,
get out the hold.
to get out of a submission, you mash the buttons. It is not a mini game of sorts. Same with kicking out. If you're very good at big backbreaker again. If you're very good at
Body damage is now on the red. Okay.
at reversals and stuff, LB, RB is what you'll need. Oh, here we
Now you
go.
got the special. Alright, one.
Now, if I'm a button
Two.
masher, what would I be good at?
You'd be good at striking for sure, but you'd also be good at kicking out, is which one I was getting at before I was kind of.
Rudely interrupted by nobody?
I was really interrupted.
Okay,
by
so it seems
looking
like
at
it's
the footage, I'll be
around,
honest.
say,
greatness
less than
of this
20
game.
seconds for the special
There you
meter
go. There's the
to
Adam Cole baby
Also,
taunt.
run
I'm going
out.
to take note of the audience.
seems.
I don't
Seems
know,
like
I
it's
just
less
feel
than
it's so
20
cool. They
seconds.
have legit
Say
t-shirts.
there's like around like
They actually
between
have
10 to 15 seconds that you gotta get that special
Go and buy a
in.
t-shirt there. You can find Colt Cabana t-shirts there.
AEW.com.
ShopAEW.com. You can go to ShopAEW.com.
Because once that special meter starts
all of those
blinking, that's where it's
t-shirts
like,
are, in
alright,
fact,
like, you better get
are
it in before it
from
runs
our
out.
T-shirts. Obviously, the crowd has different models for every character. In this instance, you're going to see Adam Cole just hit a signature maneuver right before his brainbuster to the knee, but he is in that signature phase for a much longer time than he would be in a finisher phase.
And I'm also looking to see if the stamina
There's the
meter is
patella,
going. Yup, it's going. It just
brainbuster.
went down. Oh shit! But I was just seeing if the stamina meter went down whenever. Hold on, I'm gonna pause it for a second. Like I was seeing if the stamina meter had went down whenever like the opponent like takes down the when your player takes down their opponent, because once it gets lower and lower and lower, they're very weak and they're not as like, you know, fired up and getting momentum and stuff like that. Because that is a thing. That was a thing back in the day with the WrestleMania games and the No Mercy games, where like you build momentum, you keep going, but the second you start getting hit and start taking moves, it starts to go down. So that was the thing that I was also trying to look at because I wasn't paying attention to that. So.
And this in this instance,
Ooh.
boom, he hits from behind the head.
All right.
And could win
He's
this
in the
match at
danger.
this moment.
One.
Not over yet.
So like I said earlier, breaking the pinfall is by mashing the button. There you are. You match fast enough, you can kick out just before 3, making it a 2.9.
I would be the best kick outer in the game.
You would, I'm sure.
Wait, they have a holy shit chant in here?
Oh yes, they all kinds of chanting in there. Been recorded at AEW live shows for the last 3-4 months. If you've been to any of our live shows in America, you have not.
Yeah, I
wow.
didn't bring this up before. The taunts is also filling up the stamina meter as well.
Been part of,
And they
recordings
showcase
for
stale
this game.
moves above Kenny Omega's
the live
stamina
crowds,
bar. Where like if you're doing
contribute their
stale moves, it
voices
probably make it
to
a
our
little
video
bit
game.
less for you to build up your stamina meter.
And there's my friend
But I
Frank
gotta
in
look
the
at it
crowd.
again though.
Different Frank.
Alright, this is the
What
super
we don't see in this demo right now is
One Wing
we
Angel is
also
about to do.
have plenty of weapons in this game. We have 40 different ones.
How many?
40
Yep.
different
This is
40
weapons.
super.
different
Yep.
weapons. You,
Oh, here
Super
it
One
is.
Wing Angel.
One Wing
Bam!
Angel off the top.
Bam!
That has to be it. That absolutely has to be it. 1, 2,
And that's
3.
it.
There
I
it
kind of
is.
do wish that the One
So we
Wing
have a vast
Angel
variety
was
of
also
maneuvers that have
like,
been
okay, you do the
handcrafted in this
move, but it
game.
also goes directly
You know,
into
no
the
one
pin
does
instead
the
of
One Wing
us
Angel like
going
Kenny Omega.
into the pin
This was
ourselves
crafted off footage of him
manually.
as well. You can see his singles records
So that's
based
the
on
one
this.
thing
This
that I
one
was looking
matchup has
at.
gone up.
Yeah, but I
One
also
by
love,
one.
like, that's the actual bottom third.
It is. That
in
is
AEW.
exactly what you will see on AEW television. It's the genuine experience is in this video game.
Okay, alright. So, we got what we got. Saw some gameplay footage, and yeah. Alright, so we just watched gameplay footage of AEW's video game, AEW Fight Forever. And watching it, it really does kind of brings me back nostalgia, just that childhood feeling of playing, like, and just watching footage of the Aki engine with like WrestleMania, WWF WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy, WCW/NWO Revenge, and World Tour, and those games, even the Japanese ones. You know, I found those a couple of years ago when I was seeing just like what they were doing, and it really is showcasing the remnants of like what those games were back then, just trying to put it in a modern sense. And so looking at it, I was like, okay, so they really are trying to go with a bit of the easy to play, hard to master type feeling, because that was the first thing I remember Kenny Omega had said when he did that press conference, thinking about a year or two ago, when they were talking about the AEW video game, where they wanted to go a little bit back into that. And people were even wondering, how do you put that into like action for today's generation of video gamers that play wrestling games? And so I was like, okay, alright, because when I was watching it, I was just seeing like, you know, the taunts where it's almost like you have like 4 different taunts. Like you have the taunt for the up direction, left direction, right direction, and then you have your down taunt when you're pressing the down directional button down. And then also you got the reversals, you got the Irish whips, you got, I don't think I really saw too many Irish whips like that, but you saw the grabs, you saw the strikes, you saw the weak strikes, strong strikes, and there was even something that I saw here that I was like, oh wow, they brought that back. And it's pretty much this right here with the animation of the ropes. Just look at this real quick. That right there, like I was like, yo, like they brought that back. Like that was like a particular move that I remember seeing when they did that in WWF WrestleMania 2000, because that is an actual particular animation that they did when you try to get to the ropes. It seems like you kind of run towards the ropes, or you know, you do stuff like that, whatever, depending on how it is. And so I was like, wow, they brought that back. So they really are trying to go. They really are trying to go back in their bag, or back into the bag of Since Sophia. I think that's the name of the company that eventually was called Aki, but then they changed their name. It's since Symphonia or since Sophia. I think I gotta look it up, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So just seeing that, it just made me be like, okay, they really are going into that and everything. Yeah, like I'm definitely just like, man, I definitely want to play this to definitely get the feel of it, because like it really does make me give, like, we're gonna get a bit of variety. Like, this isn't gonna be the same as that game as the WWE games. Like, this is a straight up throwback to the games back in the N64 days. Like, this isn't supposed to be like Here Comes the Pain or the SmackDown vs. Raw games. Like, this feels like a throwback to the games from the N64, and I appreciate that, because, like, you know, we should have a bit of variety. Like, everything shouldn't be the same and stuff. And also, I was also bringing up the face models and stuff like that, because I know that they're going to try their best to try to make it as good as possible, but it's not going to make it super realistic as the 2K games do with what they got, because they put a big budget on the character models for those games. So I'm just hoping that they just kind of don't go too hard on that and try to sacrifice the gameplay for the look, because the look will be there. Like, just make it good enough to where it's like, you know what, like, it might not be as high quality level as the 2K games, but if the gameplay is fun and it's enjoyable and it's good and the game modes are fun and good and enjoyable, then we'll forget about the you know, how sometimes the models look and stuff. And looking at the animations of, like, the models and just how they, like, take particular hits and they take particular moves, it feels very arcadey. It really does feel a bit arcadey. It feels like, you know, it's supposed to be slightly over the top and just not make it feel like, you know, we're having fun here. Like, we're not going to try to take ourselves too seriously. And I also like the fact when they do the entrances is that it's just like less than 15-20 seconds. Like, we're just gonna like showcase the character at the entrance, do their pose, do their taunt, go directly to the next person, do their pose, do their taunt. Let's just do this. Like, let's not take forever to try to see a 1 to like 4 to 5 minute entrance from a particular wrestler. Like, that's WWE 2K. This isn't that's not AEW, that's WWE 2K. Like, that's what they do. This is what we're doing. That's what that said to me when I was looking at that. And so, but like I said, there is another footage for more stuff that they talked about with it. I know there's more information. I haven't watched that, but I just want to get the gameplay footage out the way so I know, like, okay, this is what we got. This is what we're in store for. And I don't know if they have a release date. I'm hoping that they really do take their time with this, because I don't want them to rush this out. I would say, shoot, I personally, in my opinion, I would say early next year. Like, early next year, like around the first quarter. Like, give it that and just try to give them a couple more months. If they feel like they're ready, I would say just wait. Don't put it out this year. Give it just a couple more months just so they can, you know, get what they need, because I really don't want them to fail. I really want them to succeed so we can have good wrestling games to go to and not just go to the WWE 2K games and just stick with that. But, I mean, there are other wrestling games that are out there, indie wrestling games that are pretty much being showcased for people online and on the web, whether it's on Steam or whatever. And so, like, I really want them to succeed. I really want AEW to succeed. Depending on how y'all feel about just with the recent stuff with AEW or Tony Khan, I'm hoping that the video game is definitely good. And also, the behind the scenes stuff of where Kenny Omega was talking about, shit, I can't think of it. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, that there was some issues between Kenny Omega and some of the people that he was working with within the game, where there was some tension going on, and he was just kind of like, like, it feels like I'm being taken advantage of. So I'm hoping that, like, you know, it doesn't show within the development of this game, and then, you know, they can just, you know, get this game out, sell some units, this does well, and I hope they stick to what they're gonna say, in that this game is not going to be something where you're gonna be playing this it's not going to be a yearly game. Like, they're going to be sticking with this, that this is going to be a continuous updated game, like how fighting games update their games with patches and costumes and characters that they want to have that you know, we don't see yet, because they have a plethora of stars that they can put in the game that might not make it into the game. So I'm hoping that they stick with that, especially if it does good, because if it doesn't do good, then, you know, that can be a sign that we might end up seeing the end of the game before we want to see it to grow. So, but what do you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And if so, what was your favorite part of just watching this gameplay with the AEW Fight Forever? And who are you interested of seeing in AEW Fight Forever? I definitely like to talk to you guys about it. With that being said, I am Prinatious. See you guys next time. Later.